Thank you, Heather. How's everyone doing? Good. So after this week and kind of the grades that we received from Heather in terms of like the review session, so I think I brought up a couple of things that we were just talking about. So like Heather mentioned, there was about 13 of you out of the 30 that turned it in that didn't receive that 80%. So we're just trying to understand like why that happened. Obviously we have our own conclusions. Maybe we don't think it's a lack of understanding. So I think it's more of the case of like maybe you all didn't put enough time into it, or what we're just trying to understand. But like we mentioned before, being an ambassador is not something that you can learn overnight. It is something that you have all put a lot of work into it, and it's going to continue. So there's a couple more weeks of training, so just make sure that you are continuing to put in the time, because not only did Heather put in her time to put this together for you all as another resource, like she mentioned again, a lot of these questions you are going to see on your final, so it's only to benefit you all and for you all to do well, you know, when it comes to you taking your final. So you got to use these resources that we provide you all to be successful, and putting in the time, putting in the 110%. We understand you all are busy, you're students, but remember it's making that commitment to ensuring that you're putting in the time for training. So does that make sense in terms of like, or can you all help me understand, was it just the timing, or does someone want to volunteer what happened? Was it the questions? Are there concepts that you think we need to review more with you all? Yeah.
As I mentioned to Heather, like I got here a bit early because of the crutches.
Yeah.
You see me after you covered 2 p.m. PSC on Friday. I think for me personally, it was like different having all the information on every concept we covered in like one packet versus like doing it week to week and knowing like, okay, we're gonna cover like just this packet. And I think it was just like that, like I was overwhelmed in that aspect.
Yeah, so you know, now it's like putting it all together, right? So yeah, this is just another, like we mentioned, another tool for you all to start. You know, what you've learned here is now you're going to start applying it, as you'll see today, where you're going to have personalized information sheets, maps that students are going to come with. So it's important that, like we mentioned, that every week is going to build up on itself. And if you're not understanding a concept, make sure that you're asking those questions, not only to Heather, your TIs. We've had review sessions and only like 2, maybe 3 of you have come to those each week. And we know you're available because you let us know that you're available. So they're putting in the time into those review sessions, so if you don't come to them, you know, then do we need to even have them? You know, we don't want to waste their time either. They're busy too. So all we're trying to say, let us know what you need. Let us know what support you need. Put in the time, put in the effort, and you'll be good to go, okay? Natalie, do you want to add?
Yeah. Let me get in front of the camera. Okay, just to go off what Frankie said, like, I know we're all students, right? So I get that you guys have a lot of other stuff going on. I totally get that. But the way I want you guys to look at this is, the reason we're viewing this as so important that you're getting the information is we're training to be employees in the summer, right? I mean, I know you guys have been volunteering like with tours, and we all have throughout the year, but now we're becoming employees, and people are paying like a lot of money to come to this orientation program, and they're paying a lot of money expecting us to know all this information and to properly academic advise. So that's why it's so important that you do understand this information. So that's why, you know, we're bringing this up, because it is really important. So again, like Frankie said, if you are struggling, like, or honestly just don't get what Heather's talking about and you don't want to talk about it in training, like, that's what the TIs are for. Like, you can always reach out to us, ask us any questions. But that's why it's so important. And, you know, if you're getting stressed out about it, just remind yourself that we're going to be employees in the summer, and that's why it's so important that you're understanding this.
And we want to make sure that you're also academically advising them correctly, right? We don't want to tell a student and tell them something that is incorrect, and then that puts them back a semester for a year. And I know right now there's a big initiative at the university to make sure that students are graduating in 4 years. So again, we don't want to hear, my master told me to take this. We just want to avoid that as best as possible, okay? Sound good? Does that sound like a plan? So put in the time these next couple weeks. Small group presentations are coming up. The practice assessments. So lots of week coming your way. So let us know if you need anything, okay? Sound good? Awesome. Turn it back to Heather.